So it appears that we got some Banjo Kazooie announcements at E3 after all. And do notice that I said announcements as in plural, because one thing that's been overshadowed in the last day, which is pretty understandable, which I'll get into in a moment, but Banjo Kazooie is actually going to be receiving, or actually has received, an Xbox One X Enhancement, alongside Banjo 2, Banjo Nuts and Bolts, Perfect Dark, Cameo, and Viva Pinatas, which are all going to be receiving, or again, has received, an Xbox One X Enhancement. This may not be the remake that I was envisioning, and I'm not going to lie to you, I was pretty upset after the Xbox E3 the other day, because I was really expecting a Banjo Kazooie remake, and it just didn't happen. But at least it does get an Xbox One X Enhancement, so I still have an excuse to go back and play Banjo Kazooie 1 and 2 again. I'm not going to play Nuts and Bolts again, more than likely. I'm not really a big fan of that game. But besides that, I do want to talk about Perfect Dark, Viva Pinatas, and Cameo, because these are actually all really good games. And this includes Perfect Dark Zero, which I think is actually a really solid game. I don't think it's as good as the original Perfect Dark, but it's still a good game. I actually really love the Perfect Dark franchise, and I mean, we've heard rumors that Perfect Dark will return, and it's supposed to be in like collaboration with the Coalition with some other studio, or at least that was the rumor last year. But there's been multiple sources talk about a Perfect Dark game in development, so I really do hope that it does return. Now, Viva Pinatas and Cameo is actually some of Rare's best work, so if you haven't played those games, definitely do so if you like Rare's games. It is some of their best games, hands down, and I'm including the Super Nintendo games such as Donkey Kong Country, and you got Banjo Kazooie and Killer Instinct, as well as Conquer. I mean, they made a lot of really good games, but I would rank Cameo and Viva Pinatas somewhere up there near the top. They are that good. Now, I know that Rare has a bad reputation on the Xbox, but I'm telling you right now, Viva Pinatas and Cameo are really good games, so do check those out if you're interested. And the best way to actually play these games is to buy Rare Replay. You can play some of Rare's old games such as Banjo Kazooie, Conquer, Killer Instinct, Perfect Dark Zero, as well as Viva Pinatas and Cameo. It's a great bundle of games, so if you want to go check them out, Rare Replay is the way to go. Now, moving on to the next subject, which is why this announcement has been so overshadowed, and rightfully so, because Banjo Kazooie has been officially announced for Super Smash Bros. Now, I talked about this on the channel just last week, that I thought that Banjo Kazooie was going to be in Super Smash Bros. And while I may have been wrong about Banjo Kazooie Remake happening, Banjo Kazooie and Super Smash Bros. Is just a huge announcement. This honestly saved E3 for me. I actually thought E3 this year was not that great, but Banjo Kazooie returning to the Nintendo console on Super Smash Bros. Is a dream come true. I've been wanting this to happen for years and years, and it's finally happening. The thing is a few years ago there was this poll about Banjo Kazooie being in the game, and he was a runaway favorite, if I'm remembering correctly. And Phil Spencer at that time said that he would be okay with Banjo Kazooie being in the game. So people have been begging Nintendo to put Banjo Kazooie in Super Smash Bros. For a long time. But typically, Super Smash Bros. Does have Japanese-oriented characters. But on top of that, Microsoft also owns Banjo Kazooie. Like I said though, Phil Spencer seemed to be okay with it years ago, so I've been wanting this for a long time, and it's finally happening, and it looks so good. It doesn't have that ugly Banjo Nuts and Bolts design. It has the beautiful design of the originals, but it's updated. I'm telling you, this game would look amazing as a Banjo Kazooie remake. It would look amazing if they finally made a real Banjo Kazooie 3. But I will keep dreaming about that. For the moment, I will be perfectly happy with Banjo Kazooie on Super Smash Bros. But I do want to talk about the Nintendo E3 for a moment. I'm just going to brush up on this because the conference was actually really good. I said that the Banjo Kazooie Super Smash Bros. Announcement did save E3 for me, but Nintendo actually had a solid conference overall. They had Luigi's Mansion and Animal Crossing there. I'm not really a big fan of those games, so I'm not going to talk about them, but they were there. They also showed off Astral Chains there, which is made by the developers who makes Nier Automata, which, by the way, if you haven't played that game, if I'm going to recommend you any one JRPG game, Nier Automata would probably be that game. It has amazing music, it has an amazing story, it's beautiful to look at. That's the JRPG game that I'm going to recommend you. So I'm obviously looking forward to Astral Chain, so that was a really cool announcement as well. And then they also showed off, which I wasn't really expecting this, but a sequel to Zelda Breath of the Wild. So if you're a big Zelda fan, that's something else to really look forward to. I might get into all this in a separate video, but again, I'm super pumped for Banjo Kazooie and Super Smash Bros., and I have an excuse to replay Banjo once again on my Xbox One X. So personally, I'm a very happy person today. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about all this, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Peace out.